This blog posting is called My Fault. About a month and a half ago, I purchased an old classic truck, a 66 Chevy, from an owner out in far western Minnesota, about 8 miles from the South Dakota border. Small town, maybe 200 people. When I sent him emails to inquire about the truck, I had my signature, had the Grieving Dad's signature at the bottom of the website. He must have took a look at it because he sent me an email back a couple days later and said, "Hey man, I went to your blog, I read your story." He goes, "I can't imagine losing one of my children, or actually losing a child." He had a young daughter. And he proceeded to tell me that one of the girls he dated in high school, this guy was probably in his late 30s now, but one of the girls he dated in high school was recently killed in a drunk driving accident. And he still knows the dad of that of his ex-girlfriend pretty well. Sees him around town. Like I said, it's a pretty small town. And the guy is still struggling, obviously, but I say this quite a bit, but obviously he's still struggling. But one of the things I found interesting is the guy said, he blames himself for the loss of his daughter, even though he wasn't involved in the car accident at all. But he blames himself because it must be payback for something he did in Vietnam. He said, "For all the horrible things I did in Vietnam, this must be my payback." So he kind of blames himself, hence the name My Fault. Now, I also experienced this shortly after, not shortly, for a couple of years after the death of my children. I went back through my life, combed through things I had done, things I'm not proud of, but I also kind of blame myself, like this must be payback for some of the stuff I did early in my life. I know this is a pretty broad topic, but is there anybody out there that also kind of felt the same way? If you don't mind, share your story. Thanks.